Charisma, or RIZZ as they say, comes naturally to everyone. It can't be learned. If you do too much, you'll be called tacky and overkill. If you do just enough, you're everybody's favorite. Such is the case for UFC fighters as well. Some have exceptional RIZZ and an undeniable game, while others, let's just say their striking is much better. Here are UFC fighters ranked from least to most RIZZ. Let's get into it. Fighters with the least RIZZ. Number 10, Colby Covington. See, Colby Covington makes a significant effort. He tries to be charismatic, has the over-the-top flashy costumes and the trash talk, tries to land jokes seamlessly, and if he fails, he'll double down to make it even cringier. However, it frequently seems a little forced, like he's trying too hard. Covington's overemphasis on the rehearsed political or villain persona attracts attention and receives reactions, but doesn't exactly shout "smooth operator." Outside the ring, he frequently uses the same insults, tells embarrassing jokes, and appears uncomfortable in social situations. He's always putting on a show. You'll never catch him in an interview where he's relaxed and naturally calm. Anyone known to diss others using rehearsed lines loses aura points then and there. So it's safe to say Colby Covington and RIZZ don't go hand in hand. Number 9, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Despite being one of the best UFC fighters of all time, Khabib's charisma and charm are quite limited. It's mainly because he just doesn't care. He isn't here to impress. He's the best because he can knock his opponent out cold. He's intense, dedicated, and completely focused on his work. You won't see him trying to impress people or making meaningless small conversations. For Khabib, RIZZ doesn't matter because it's easier for him to make his opponent submit rather than to RIZZ someone up. He is extremely serious, even during press conferences, treating it like a business meeting, unlike Conor McGregor, who makes it into an amusing show. His demeanor is centered on discipline and control rather than on social pleasantries. Nevertheless, RIZZ or not, he's very well respected in the UFC world, and that in itself is a display of RIZZ. Number 8, Stipe Miocic. The epitome of a humble fighter would be Stipe Miocic, someone who's more excited about becoming a dad and driving his snowplow than to have a title. He isn't just a UFC champion, but also a firefighter and just a good man in general. Not many can say they win championships while also saving people on the side. Therefore, he lacks in the RIZZ department. His interviews are direct and casual, and he doesn't indulge in much of that smooth talking like his peers. He doesn't strive to be pompous or have a flamboyant attitude. He's the kind of person who would rather discuss his family or his work fighting fires than make a commercial about himself. Miocic is adored because of his humility, which also prevents him from becoming an innate charmer. Number 7, Alexander Volkanovski. Volkanovski displays a great deal of self-assurance, humor, and likability. However, he falls under the category of a fun buddy rather than a charismatic guy. When it comes to pure RIZZ, he's not much of a master at it. His Australian charm makes him an entertaining guy to watch and listen to, but he's not the kind of person to be effortlessly captivating. The main characteristic of Volkanovski is his friendly confidence. He doesn't need to be showy and pompous, and he's content within himself. He isn't much of a trash talker either, which makes him a bit boring for fans who like the McGregor kind of charm. He's just a regular family guy who plays just to look after his family, so it's no surprise he's on the list of players with little to no RIZZ. Number 6, Kamaru Usman. Another UFC fighter who's labeled as boring would be Kamaru Usman, despite being one of the most dominant fighters out there. In addition to that, his entire demeanor screams office manager, which is why fans don't consider him charismatic, with one Reddit user stating, "Usman got the charisma of a dead fish." His press conferences seem like business meetings. His post-fight comments tend to lack enthusiasm and energy, and even when he attempts to add excitement to a fight, it comes across as forced. These are all characteristics of a man one can't expect much RIZZ from. If you've reached this far in the video, congrats. You made it through the list of fighters with the least RIZZ. Now don't be like them. Show us some RIZZ and give this video a like before we get into the RIZZ lords of UFC. Fighters with the most RIZZ. Number 5, John Jones. Imagine you're not only the youngest champion in UFC, but your boss is also calling you the GOAT on a weekly basis. That's got to get to your head at some point, right? That's exactly what happened with Jones. As he climbed the ladder, securing win after win, a natural arrogance came about, which made him a fan favorite instantly. Jones' carefree attitude and self-assurance made him stand out as a unique attraction in the company. His ability to condescending to communicate and get under his opponent's skin made him a great hit during press conferences. He was a powerhouse of a talent and charm, which is why he's remembered as the most charismatic fighter in UFC history. Number 4. Sean O'Malley. Not only is O'Malley a great fighter with 3 Performance of the Night awards and a Fight of the Night award, but he's also extremely charismatic, attracting many fans' attention. His crazy hair, wild outfits, and unwavering confidence make him someone you simply can't ignore, whether you love him or hate him. It isn't very common for an unranked fighter to become so popular, but it just shows his level of RIZZ and how likable he is. More than that, he's also garnered a massive following by streaming on Twitch, posting videos on his YouTube channel, and hosting a podcast, giving insight into his life outside the octagon. Some might associate his confidence with arrogance, but it is the key to his RIZZ and what makes him stand out in any room. Number 3. Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz automatically became a fighter with immense RIZZ when he defeated UFC's Golden Goose, Conor McGregor, at UFC 196, leaving everyone in the arena and those watching in utter disbelief while carrying a "like that was difficult" energy after his win. As he dominated the company's best lightweight and welterweight talent, he already earned a spot in the fans' hearts, and the UFC 196 victory just sealed the deal. Even though not many fighters who have a 50% loss record are that popular, Diaz is just in a league of his own. Apart from his exceptional work in the cage, another thing that makes him one of the most captivating players signed with the company is his carefree lifestyle outside of the octagon. The fans love the laid-back persona, making him seem like a regular guy who enjoys a casual smoke and doesn't care what other people think about him. That's RIZZ at its finest, if I may say so. Number 2. Anderson Silva. A dominant figure in UFC history, Anderson Silva has managed to impress many fans all over the world with his ability to entertain. Despite knowing little to no English, Silva shines through his interviews, exuding an effortless display of charisma. UFC fans love the combination of flawless technique and complete ruthlessness, something that some of his peers might lack. It could also be said that he's one of the most exciting competitors UFC has ever seen, with his iconic laid-back demeanor paired with the power to leave his opponents defenseless. Anderson Silva is a truly magnetic presence to witness. Number 1. Conor McGregor. Lastly, the man you all been waiting for, the one with the most RIZZ out of everyone, the notorious Conor McGregor. With the smooth Irish accent and well put together outfits, and the ability to take over a room just by stepping into it, McGregor has it all when it comes to RIZZ. Not many UFC fighters have the ability to be both funny as well as intimidating on the microphone the way he has. McGregor's RIZZ didn't come to him after he became a big name in the sport. He made his mark as a Rizzler very early on in his career, dominating fighters like Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier, leading his stardom to skyrocket and becoming the top choice for fans. Whether they're full of RIZZ or have nothing to show when it comes to that natural charm, these fighters have proven that they are exceptionally talented. What's your opinion on the list? Do you agree with this ranking? Let us know in the comments below. Check out these other videos that we think you'll enjoy.